Like damn, she in her mood. 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 She lit, get money too. Like damn, she in her mood.
Hey y'all, what it do? It's your girl Viva La K, and let's get into this bomb outfit. Okay, so that's the price, but let's get into all of the material you're gonna need. And I got all of this for $96. So you're gonna need your patterns, you're gonna need your string. I got some leather string, faux leather string, and a zipper, a 6-inch zipper, I believe, or a 7-inch zipper, whichever one you prefer. But yeah, go ahead and get these. Go ahead and start cutting your patterns out, because you're going to need them. And these are all the ones that I chose to use from out of this batch. So yeah, go ahead and get that. Now let's get into it. So I went ahead and started cutting out my fabric. So I didn't follow the instructions. I did my own thing because I didn't want it to be a line in the back of the shirt. So I did it this way instead. So if you want a line in the back of your shirt, you can follow the instructions, or you could do it my way. I just chose to do it this way because I didn't like that look. So yeah, if you want it like mine, go ahead and follow everything I'm doing down to a T. Okay, so right here I'm just cutting out the pieces that I just traced over, and your stuff should come out looking like this after you're finished cutting it out. Okay, so this right here, what I'm cutting out is the back of your shirt. Okay, so now let's move to the front of the shirt. This piece right here, which is number 10, will be the front of your shirt. And 7 is the arm sleeve, but we're not going to get into that just yet. But so go ahead and finish cutting out number 10, and then you'll just flip it over, and that'll be the other side of your shirt. Okay, so now let's measure out for the sleeve, how long you want your sleeve, and just add on the extra length onto the sleeve and cut it out like that. I didn't like how the sleeve just came down to my wrist, so I made it come down more longer to my hand because my client is a little taller than me, so I wanted to just make sure it came down perfectly and wasn't too short. And if you got to make adjustments, then that's fine. At least you don't have to worry about you not having a long enough fabric. And your sleeve should come out looking exactly like that. Perfect, because you need seam allowance. Okay, so now we're about to get into the collar. This right here is me cutting out the collar, and this right here is the other piece to the collar. So you should have 4 pieces for your collar. You should be cutting out 2 pieces for each pattern, if that makes sense. And I just started stacking everything up so I could see how it would look. So right here, I'm just hemming down the sleeve. And when you start hemming down your sleeve, just make sure you leave about 5 inches off. So I'm gonna just show you right here, so that's the part of the sleeve that it stay open. You don't want to sew that part up. So you want to keep that open, and do the same thing to the other sleeve. And if it's easier for you, just go ahead and make a marking on your sleeve like I did, so you'll know when it's time to sew where not to sew at, like where to stop at, because you want to make sure you keep that open, because the outfit requires the hand to be open, or the bottom of the sleeve to be open to show your hand. So yeah, it should come out exactly like this. And this is the back of the shirt. So yeah, now we're about to just go ahead and start hemming up the shirt so that we can start sewing it down. This is one side of the shirt, and then this is the other side of the shirt. And then let's just start pinning it together. Okay, so now let's start hemming up the collar. And it should be 2 pieces. And you'll just start hemming it around the border of the fabric. But make sure you leave the bottom of the fabric open. So it should be just like that. Okay, now it's time to go ahead and start sewing down the collar. And before you start sewing, this is an important reminder. You do have to put tape at the bottom of your presser foot and on the top of your machine where the needle goes in at, because this fabric is so sticky and it will stick together and give you a hard time. So you do have to put tape at the bottom of your presser foot so that the fabric would just glide through. And you'll see what I'm talking about if you don't put the tape. So definitely put some tape right there. Just make sure it's some like shipping packing tape, because it definitely helped with my fabric gliding, because without it, it gave me such a hard time.
Outside in an AMG, right outside, TT, 2-turn baby girl, you know me. Still with the dogs that I grew beside. All the niggas round me, died and they died. Gotta watch the time, cause it's flying right by. I'm outside in an AMG.
Okay, and the shirt is almost finished. It should come out looking like a vest.
2-turn baby girl, you know me.
Now let's move to the sleeves. And don't forget to stop at your marking that you made so that you don't go past that. Yep, and it should look exactly like this. And now it's time to hem up where your markings are. Yep, like that.
See my heart turn crystal. I can't even front like I'll miss you. Right now I'm just stuck inside the crib on my own. Soon as I free up, I'm about to pop up on your phone. Like I'm outside in an AMG, right outside, PT, 2-turn baby girl, you know me. Who am I? All the niggas round me, ride and die. Gotta watch your time, cause it's flying right by. 2-turn baby girl, you know me.
I'm outside in it.
Right outside, PT, 2-turn baby girl, you know me. All the niggas round me, ride and die. Gotta watch your time, cause it's flying right by. 2-turn baby girl, you know me.
So right here, I'm just hemming the sleeves onto the vest part of the shirt. Well, that's what I call it. And I'm just now attaching the sleeves onto the part of the shirt. And it should come out looking like this. Please keep in mind that you may see me with different outfits and looks on in these clips because I am extremely busy, so I had to do this on my free time when I was getting off of work. This outfit doesn't take that long to make at all, so just please keep that in mind. You can make this in a day if you need to, or a few hours. Okay, so this may be the most difficult part of the process, so please pay attention to this part. This is when you do the collar. If you're not familiar with doing the collar, pay close attention to this. So the rounded piece of the collar is what I'm hemming down now. The one that seemed more like square and sharp on the edges, that goes on last. So you'll just take one piece and start hemming it down, and then you'll take the other piece and start connecting it together. So these two pieces is number 5 on the pattern. And this is how you'll sew it down together. But take your time with doing this part. Okay, so now this is where you're going to be attaching number 6 collar to number 5 collar. Number 6 is the more square part that you fold down. So now I'm just attaching those two together onto the collar. But you'll only attach one side of 5 and one side of 6 together. Okay, so this is where it gets more easy and you'll probably put 2 and 2 together. Because it is a little difficult. It took me a little while to understand. So now you'll attach 5 and 6 together on the other side. And this is what it'll look like. Okay, now it's time to move on to the skirt. My back was all out, so I had to just blur that out right quick. But the skirt is so quick, simple, and easy. It's only 3 pieces that you gotta cut out. So I don't really have to say too much on this, but you'll be using number 2. So number 1 will be only 1 piece, and you'll fold that and don't cut it. But number 2 have to be cut in half. So it'll look like this. So this top piece that I'm messing with right now, that's your backside. So this will be where you'll be adding your zipper at. Okay, so right here, I'm just hemming up the top and bottom of the skirt because it is definitely needed because you don't want your skirt to fray. So just make sure you go ahead and hem up your skirt, and you can hem it up to how short you want it. But I only did about a half an inch, not too much, maybe an inch at the most. But yeah, just go ahead and hem it how short or long that you want it. I went ahead and didn't go too far because I didn't know how short or how long my client wanted her skirt yet until we did her fitting. So once we went and did her fitting, then I was able to adjust it. So this is the outcome of the shirt. I still have to add on the extra pieces to the front, but this is what your shirt should look like once you're finished with the stitching. Okay, so right here, I'm adding the zipper on for the back of the skirt. Okay, so right here, I'm about to just do the slit for the front of the skirt. So we can just go ahead and start hemming that down. And you can do your slit how deep you want it. I did mine's about 4 or 5 inches, not too much, but it's up to you and your preference. Okay, so these are the little pieces that you'll use to lace your shirt up. So you want to go ahead and start putting those on. You can place them where you like, but I did mine's about 2 inches apart, and maybe when I got down to the bottom, maybe closer to like 3 inches. And now it's time to lace up your shirt, and we are done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Viva La K, and this is the final results. Thank you for watching. I truly appreciate y'all. Make sure you give this a thumbs up, and make sure you comment and share, subscribe, and all of the above. My girl ate this up. Like, perfect timing for Valentine's Day. Make sure y'all go ahead and get this look, because this was just so sexy. It just gave.
Mirror, I'm doing my dance. And he packing out nobody's pants. He a rapper but don't got a chance. Sucking my waist so I'm loving my bands. Like a million views in a